all in me this class, and
If you remember it now.
the subject were more about like immigration, fitting into the US school. So I feel like every subject were relatable to us, and I also enjoyed the teamwork. Yeah, so I think that was the most that I enjoyed.
Thank you. Next up is going to be University of North Florida.
I enjoy the fact that I get to create a community for my students being in the LCA role. I love getting to plan and facilitate events for them. And I think it's really cool that I've created a community within them, but also individually, we have these one-on-one relationships, and even amongst themselves, they have individual relationships. And I think that's really cool to see that the first week we were all just meeting each other, and now they just go off and plan things amongst themselves, which is great, which is what the whole point of it is. So.
Thank you. Next up is going to be Hudson County.
What I enjoyed most about it was because of the friendships that I ended up building with my classmates. As Emma said, in the beginning we didn't know each other, but then afterwards, so now we're all friends, even outside of there. But we were able to even come together when it came to studying. We studied together. It was like a really, really nice group, and that was for both of our classes because I joined the learning community for college algebra and chemistry. And and in the beginning, I was not good at chemistry, but even towards the end, just with the help of my teachers and with the help of other classmates, I ended up loving it. So it really was a good community.
Thank you. And finally, we're going to be hearing from Johnson's and Wales University.
I enjoyed most the hands-on experience that my program had when we all did community service. I felt that it was very rewarding to not only what I was learning in school, but also how I was helping the real world and how I was making some sort of positive impact for it.
All right. Thank you. We're going to be moving on to our third question, starting again with Bunker Hill. How did the learning community better prepare you for other classes you were taking on campus? And how did it not prepare you?
I would say the learning community classes, because it was an English class and a sociology class, that helped me improve my writing skill, communication skill. Even when I had to do presentation for other classes, I feel like I was more prepared for that. And also, the only challenge that we actually got from the community class, the learning community classes, it was because it was a cluster class. So we really had to work double for it, because the same grade you got for English would be the same, almost the same grade you will get for sociology. So the homework were like a little bit heavier, but after that, I think it was a really good experience.
Great. Thank you. Next up is going to be University of North Florida.
So since I was never in one as a student, I feel like it's a little different as coming from an LCA role. I know I try to definitely implement different academic strategies within my events, whether it's just learning time management, learning about the resources we have on campus for our students' study skills. I definitely try to hit all the things to make sure that they are prepared for their classes and well equipped.
Perfect. Thank you. Next up, we're going to be hearing from Hudson County.
So for me, the learning community classes that I took were towards the end. So I really didn't have much classes even after that to take. However, um, it just prepared me for what I knew to expect going on further when I'm going into the nursing program. So it prepared me for what I need to learn for the classes that are upcoming for my nursing program. Um, I learned so many things that I didn't even know when it came to chemistry. And I think that was my favorite class out of the two. So for me, it taught me some of the things that I'm definitely going to need when going into the nursing program.
Great. Thank you. We're going to move it on to our next question here. What? Oh, right. I am so sorry. I completely forgot your college. We're gonna continue on with Johnson's and Wales universities. I apologize.
That's okay. So for me, the learning community helped me develop a strong teamwork and communication skills that carried over into all of my academic classes at the time. And it also helped me become a lot more comfortable with all of the presentations that I was doing with all of my classes.
Good. Okay. Again, apologize, especially to you, Terry. Yeah. So we're gonna move on to our next question now. How was it that the learning communities differed from other classes that you were taking, and how was it similar? I think this is more meant in like a structural sense, right? And we're gonna be starting with Bunker Hill.
So it is different because, as I said, it was the only cluster classes that I was taking at this time. But at the end, I think it was the only classes where we got this kind of friendship between classmate and even professor. And it was also the only classes where we got those kind of interaction were more reliable to us.
Thank you. Next, we're going to be hearing from University of North Florida.
I know it's definitely structured similar with you do have to participate, you do have to be putting in the effort to get that credit. But I also know, kind of like what Carla said, is that you do have a unique relationship with the students that you're in the learning community with that you may not have with other classes. So I think that's something that definitely sets it apart.
All right. Thank you. Next up is going to be Hudson County.
It was different. The learning community classes were different because of the fact that we had those two classes together as a cluster class. But so it was different from other classes because we had projects we had to work on, like those had to be done with us for together. And in other classes, you don't have that. You don't have that. It's you work on it everything by yourself. But in these learning community classes, the projects that we do with each other. So that was what was different from other classes for me.
All right. Thank you. And because I remember this time, we are going to now be hearing from Johnson's and Wales University.
So my learning community was different in the sense that it was more hands-on focused and interactive with collaboration, especially through our community service. But it was very similar to my classes in terms of we had the same type of assignments, the same type of projects and discussions and learning goals.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Now we're going to move on to our fifth question. How did your academic advisor go about getting students to be part of the learning community? I think it's sort of similar to question one, but it's more about like the broad sense of it. And we're going to be starting with Bunker Hill.
So the first thing my advisor told me at this time, she explained to me how it would be like benefit for me to take two classes at the same time because of my major, I would have to take either English and sociology anyway. So the fact that I was able to take both at the same time, I think that's the most reason why I accept to register for it, but also the fact that she explained to me the learning community has the ability to help students be able to fit more into college, especially for me as a no student. So that's why I think I took the chance to apply for it and I really enjoyed it.
Great. Thanks you. Next up is going to be University of North Florida.
So my LLC is actually directly connected with a program on campus called Thrive, which is our program that helps support students with autism. So they are the ones that really promote the Thrive LLC a lot, and the staff is really supportive in helping students decide if the LLC would be a great fit for them. And they also are really supportive in making sure the students do engage and they are a part of this community. And they'll even help me co-host events and come to different events that I put on. So I know they have been a big help in promoting that and helping students with that.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Next up is going to be Hudson County.
Initially, when I first learned about the learning community class, I wanted a specific teacher because he was my teacher already for another class. And I enjoyed his teaching methods. So that is the reason why I looked into the learning community. But when I spoke to my academic advisor about it, he did explain to me the benefits of being in the learning community class, which was the reason why I ended up taking it. And I just so happened to enjoy it. So now I recommend it to other students as well because of the benefits that I received from it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And now we're going to be hearing from Johnson and Wales University.
I was placed into my learning community at my university, so I didn't have an academic advisor really inform me about it in advance, but it was connected to my major and my English classes, so I knew it was something I had to take. And it's something I would highly recommend to any student to take. I think it's such an amazing opportunity full of so many different experiences, rewards, and just everything like that.
Excellent. Thank you. We're going to be moving on to our final question here. What suggestions do you have for improving learning communities, and how would you improve them if you could? So that's like you being personally involved in that improvement. And we're going to be starting off with Bunker Hill.
So
Bashir.
one suggestion that I would like to make for the learning community, I would like for student to be able to have more flexibility in the schedule, because most of the time, so some student would like to be part of a learning community, but because there's like more restriction for the available hours, so it's like more difficult for them to get into it. And also the other thing I would say, I would like if we could meet with other kind of learning community and we can share experiences between students. I think it's something that could actually help us learn from others.
Thank you. We're going to be going on to University of North Florida now.
So I think something that I'm trying to improve as an LC is my students' relationship with the RA on our floor, since we do all live together on the same floor. Since we do have an LLC retreat at my school, the students get to move in 3 days early. And we get to, start that connection and build that community with them. We tend to be their go-to person, which is so great. But also there are some things that an RA can carry out and do in their role that I cannot. So I think just fostering that connection has been one of the biggest things I've been focusing on. I always invite her to my events I do with my students, and she's so great. She always comes. But I think just amongst the LLCs at my school, that has been a big thing that we've been working on, is just making sure that the students are also comfortable going to our RA about things and situations.
All right. Thank you for that. Next up is going to be Hudson County.
For me, I think that if it is possible that more learning communities could be available for more classes together, if that was possible, just because you get a lot out of it. The teachers work together with you. It was really good, like when it came to even passing the classes, because you had so much help with just your other students and everything. If more learning community classes are available to be offered, I think that would be that I think would be best.
All right. Thank you. And finally, we're going to be hearing from Johnson and Wales University.
I believe that we should expand the learning communities into other majors within my university, at least. I know for me from the psychology program, I had a really great experience. And I think if we opened it up to our media and arts programs or our culinary arts programs, that I think they would also have more experiences and better opportunities. And I just think overall, it's a great program for the university to have.
All right. Excellent. Thank you all for answering the questions that we had. We are going to be moving on in a second here. even though we started a little late, we are actually doing really well on time right now. So we are going to be moving on to the student panelists sharing their work. We have a few panelists who are going to be doing written pieces. We have one who's going to be sharing a video, I think. Is that still happening?
We figured out is for the video, we have to kind of switch computers.
Okay.
So we're actually going to show the video
Last.
last.
Who's doing the video?
Carl.
Okay.
Or Mickey.
I got it. So Carla from Bunker Hill is going to be sharing a video. They're going to be going last because we need to do the technical magic of actually being able to get the video up for everyone in the conference to see. We're going to be starting with University of North Florida with sharing your student work.
I don't have any like photos or anything to share, but I can talk about our last event we did, or our last few events. We actually did a root beer float event. That was a lot of fun. We did stay afloat this semester, and we were able to connect with different academic resources that I was able to share with my students. And we were also able to learn about time management, study skills, get connected to those resources on campus, reach out to those different offices. So I think that's been definitely a successful event that we've done in the past few months that I wanted to share about.
Nice, thank you for that. So next is going to be Hudson County. Hudson County had some posters, I think, but we were having trouble finding them because you guys did a little clean or whatever. I don't know, but they're going to be talking about a poster that they made and a little bit more on that.
Mia, when we were talking the other day, had a really great story about creating the posters. So I'm hoping she'll share that with you all.
We had we did have to do projects together, but we had individual projects that we had to do. And with our individual projects, as I said, it's a learning community class, but we were all making sure that we did our projects together. So we came to the campus, I think the day of that we had to do our project, to do the reveal of our project. But we all came to campus and we worked on our project together in like the library and like the back room, and we just all like helped each other with our projects together. So where someone else needed help with putting their just decorating and everything, but we all went and we did it together. That was pretty fun. Everyone had their own specific things that they did for their projects. Mine was on the it was on the chemistry of polygel. It was like for nails. That's what I did my project on. But everyone was very helpful with decorating our projects together. So that was fun.
All right, thank you so much. Next is going to be Johnson's and Wales for this one. And then we're going to move on to getting the system set up for Bunker Hill. So Johnson and Wales, you're up.
So for my university, we collaborated with a local food pantry and a local meal kitchen. We would serve meals every Friday, and we would also help package up the meals every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then we also worked with the 134 collaborative program, and that helped give medical things to people, as well as any sort of healthcare they might need or any sort of resources they would need, whether it was mental health, food insecurity, housing, anything like that. We collaborated with them on that.
Very great, really cool. Give us a moment, Bunker Hill, to set everything up for you, and then we'll share your video.
And then we'll swap it back out for audience questions.
Yes.
All right.
Doing the Q&A.
Yes. Oh. Give me one sec. There. Sorry, Jeff. I don't know if you all can see.
When you need to play as a tune.
Oh yeah.
Get the thingy.
What?
Yeah.
Play as a tune in.
Get the elevator waiting music going on.
Yeah.
Can you all tell me when you see my screen show up? So I know that it's up there.
Searching.
Is it searching right now?
We need to get one of those thingies for next year. Please stand by while we have technical difficulties.
Screen we see,
Oh.
so
Ah,
don't see it on this screen.
wait, it says, please wait.
There you go.
Okay.
So this is Carla, who you just saw speaking from Bunker Hill, and this is the final presentation she delivered, and it was the second question. And so it was, it was the second question about how the sociological imagination you can use it to understand your connections with learning English in your career. So she's going to start by talking about the teaching approaches that work best with her, and then she's going to go in to talking about how it connects to her work. And so I'm going to play about 2 or 3 minutes of her presentation. I'm going to start like 2 minutes into it, if I can.
And hopefully the audio goes well. It was going.
On learning. So when I first came here in the US, it wasn't like you really improve my English, improve my skills in English was the asset based.
We're not.
We had this problem last night with standby.
Good morning, everybody.
There you go.
Improve my English, improve my skills in English was the
We're gonna
asset
keep
based
it,
teaching,
yeah, I think
and
you
also the culturally relevant teaching. I picked those photo because the asset based teaching, when you look at the second photo, you can see like a student involved. It's a way like the teacher understand like every student has their an asset, has knowledge, and they are able also to share with other students. And the culturally relevant teaching, it's one of my favorite teaching approach because it's a way, if you it's also connect with your social location, but also with your studies. Because you are able to read some articles, book like the article where I'm from Jennifer De Leon, and you are able exactly to understand the concept of your books, of your article, because he also have connection with your social location. So that's why I think the teaching approach will help me because I were able to connect myself when I was in class. When I have to share my thought about Liliana stories, I was able to do it in a better way because I was able like exactly to understand what she was living in her new school because it's also connect with my own experience. So now I'm gonna make a connection between my learning English and also my career goal. So at the end, I wanna be a registered nurse. So I think learning English is a good way for me to achieve this goal because if I'm able to speak and to understand exactly and clearly English, I'm gonna be able at the end to exactly take my TS test or also if like I can get my diploma, but also I can also apply for a PhD or whatever because I'm gonna have already those skills on whether to understand the classes, but also to speak with patient relatives or others. Now I'm gonna connect like 2 tasks that I would have to do in my career goal with some skills that I got from the yoga classes and the sociology class. So the first one is record patient medical information in vital signs, and the second one is consult and coordinate with healthcare team members to access, plan, implement, or evaluate patient care plans. So in the first thing I said like speaking and writing skills. The ELA class and the sociology class helped me improve my English, so that's why I think I'm getting a lot of more skills in speaking and writing. But also the ELA class gave me the opportunity to increase my critical thinking skill, where I'm able exactly to, when I'm talking to other people or whatever with a patient, I'm able to analyze. I'm able to understand their thought, their belief, their and to connect the disease with their culture, because it's also important. Because person is not only like a language. It's not only like a face. It's also a language, a culture, a face, and everything we shape them. So with the critical thinking skill, I'm gonna be able exactly to understand the thought and be able to help them. And also self-managing management skills. At the hospital, it's really difficult to don't be stressed out, because it's a lot of stress. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of problem. So when you have like the skills of self management, where you are able to exactly take a breath, to take a breath and be peaceful, like you don't have like to stress out like other people do. It's a skills with really important, because when you have to talk with a patient relative and you have to tell them like other the patient have a critical disease, or also the patient died, something like that, you have to be aware. You have to be exactly like, you have to have a mindset really high to.
So that's probably a good setting time. We actually she had to start video again. I don't remember the Aurora, but I'm going to stop it right there. And that was Carla.
Yay!
All right.
Yeah, let's see if we can. Thank you. And hopefully the audio transfers back. There's a big microphone. All right. Let me just make sure the audio settings to display for audio. Okay. All right.
Good.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Uh-oh.
And we fix that.
Oh, it's loading. It's loading. Okay.
There you go. All right, so we got a good another 20 minutes before the student panel is over. So we're going to open up the floor to an open Q&A. To anybody in the conference who wants to ask a question of our student panelists, you can ask, and I will do my best to relay it to them. And to our student panelists, if you have any questions to our people in the conference, you can ask it. And I think the best way to handle that one would be for that person who wants to answer to come up here, because
Probably.
some of you use some big academic words, and I'm not going to be able to convey them. All right. Oh, yes, of course. And we also would like to thank you all for coming here. For coming here to the meeting via Zoom and joining us for the student panel. Like I said in the beginning, we haven't had any in a number of years, so it's great to have it started again. And we'd like to thank you all for being a part of that. So we'll start the Q&A with a panelist. If anyone has any questions for a conference member. Silence. Okay. If any conference members have questions for the panelists.
I just wanted to ask, I learned at North Florida, so I just learned that you have a Thrive program. So one of your living learning communities, it's specific to students with autism. That's so interesting. You know, at Bunker Hill, we're just starting to explore a little bit, maybe some cohort-based learning communities, but we haven't really done that before. I just love to hear about that. The benefits you think it has for the students. Do the students take all their classes sort of together with other autistic students? Do they take some classes intermixed? The strengths, weaknesses, I just haven't heard about a program like that before. It sounds so fantastic. So I'd love to hear your reflections about it.
University of North Florida, did you get all that, or do you need me to repeat it?
I got all of it.
Excellent. Audio is perfect then.
So what I know about the Thrive program is that it's kind of unique because each of my students have their individual majors. It's not like all just everyone is going for pre-med, everyone is going for first year nursing. They all have individual majors, and within the Thrive program, they just help support the students just with their academics. I know each student is paired with a mentor who helps them just make sure they're staying on track if they need anything academic wise, even personal wise. And so all their classes are just mixed throughout. I know I actually have a few of my students in some of my classes. I'm a photography major. So that's kind of how the program is set up here, that they all have different majors, unique individual classes, and then they do meet with the Thrive program. I believe it's once a week. That could be wrong though. And then they also meet with their mentors within the Thrive program, just working on different academic skills, life skills, adult skills. So
That works for you as a good answer? You got everything you wanted from it? Excellent.
I have a question, actually.
Okay, so we got a question from George Hill,
So-
Professor George Hill.
Yeah, so this goes back to something Mia said about recruiting, and she wanted to take the learning community specifically because she had a professor who she had enjoyed previously and was teaching in a learning community. And I am fully cognizant that some of your learning community professors are in this room right now. So this is for anybody. But do you feel, or how are the teaching methods different from professors that you've taken that were outside of a learning community versus the ones that are in a learning community? Do you feel like there's a certain kind of professor that teaches in a learning community, or do you feel like anybody can do it? You know, I wonder if that makes sense.
Okay, do we want to start with Bunker Hill or any of them, but just to keep it organized a bit? If you want to start, just unmute your mic and start, basically.
Like I'm trying to get the sense of the different teaching styles.
I don't want to say like my teachers weren't like happy teachers. I had pretty good teachers over here at Hudson, but the teachers that I had for my learning community classes, they were pretty good. They were really like I'm not saying that any of my other teachers weren't hands-on, but they were really into making sure that everything that we did together, we worked together. My chemistry teacher, he was really like a really good, happy go lucky person. Like he made sure like it was fun too. It wasn't so like high strung. I guess people are like learning chemistry, you would think, like I thought there's no way I'm going to be able to get through this class without some major the better learning skills for me. But no, he made it really good for us to be able to get through it. So the teachers that I had, I guess it was kind of different because previous teachers that I had, you know, they're teaching what we need to learn. But these learning community, they were really fun.
Good. Anybody else want to add to that?
I would say, I feel like all this teacher are amazing, but the learning community teacher and just a regular teacher, I feel like there's still a difference between them, because I think the learning community teacher, we as students have more connection with them. I don't know if it's because of their teaching style or yeah, but I feel like the student, they are more willing to talk to them. They are more willing like to ask them questions and even to participate in class. I don't know, but I feel like they're like more a strong connection between teacher from learning community than other regular teacher.
Excellent. Anybody else want to continue? Think we're good on George's question then? All right, we're going to continue on with anybody from the conference that has a question. All right, go right ahead.
So some colleges and universities have more support for learning communities than others. That means, some places get to do tons of them, some only get to do a couple, and then some places it's like, oh, can we do these things at all? So if you had to go and whether you or you wanted us to go and convince, the powers that be, the vice presidents or whoever, the big bosses at colleges and universities about how awesome learning communities are and why they should exist or expand, what would you want us to tell them? Or what would you want to say?
Everybody heard all that?
That makes sense. Basically, if you had a platform, you're like, this is really cool and I want other students to have this experience. What would you want to make sure that those people that make the big decisions, what would you want them to hear about your experience?
Did everybody understand the question, or do you need me to repeat it? Repeat it? Yeah, okay. So basically, if you had the ability to promote learning communities, right, or get them to the administration of your college to better understand how important they are, or you could get your professor to do it for you, how would you go about doing it? And what was the other part?
Like, what would you say to the vice president?
Yeah. What would you say to get them to get more involved with learning communities and see how great that they are?
How would you convince a college president that you need to have learning communities? I got you. I don't know that.
I know personally for UNEP, a lot of our LLCs, they are for first year living communities only. We have a few that's all 4 years you're here. But I think just showing them the connections and like just how it's affected first year students being in a living learning community. Because I know like me going to college for the first time, I didn't know anyone, which is usually that's the normal first year college experience. And just seeing the students be in LLC and make those connections the first week they're there, I think just makes the transition so much smoother. And I think just really emphasizing that because the first week of class, then they're not worried. I mean, they're still worried about making friends and everything, but they also already have that established community of people that they can go to and they can rely on is something I would really emphasize because I think that's so great. So
Thank you. Anybody else want to continue the question or answer, add to it? All right, I think we'll agree with that one then. We're gonna move on to anyone else in the conference have another question to ask?
Mr. Does.
We're gonna move on to Kingsborough.
I think you probably want to.
You can come up closer.
Hi, my name is Krista. I'm from Kingsborough. Just in terms of your experiences with learning community, was there a project or an assignment, activity that you did in your class that you either really enjoyed, you learned a lot from, or set it apart from what you were doing in your other classes? So kind of that made it stand aside from the traditional class and made you really feel like you were in a learning community.
Everybody got all that? Who wants to start? Otherwise, I'm gonna start calling on names and then we're gonna go that way.
So I can speak from my experience, at least with our meal kitchen that we partnered with. I found that to be an amazing experience. We would go every Friday from 3 to 5, and we would go and help out and serve meals. And then we would talk to all of the people that we would be serving and socialize with them and get to know them. You would see all the different families and you would see children. And these were all people that unfortunately were underprivileged and don't have all of the same privileges that some of us may have. And then that transitioned into another class I took, which focused more even on the community service aspect of giving back. And then we worked more with the food pantry. And in the food pantry, we would package the meals. We would take people up and down the aisles who had food stamps, and we would make them bags of all their different meals that they could take home. And then we would also work with the clothing aspect. We would donate clothing. We would organize the clothing for them. So I feel like the hands-on experience was so beneficial, and I would highly recommend it to anybody, as it really helped me better understand my community and better understand the impact I was making on it.
Thank you so much. Does anyone want to add to that discussion, or do we want to continue on? How are we feeling? I think we want to continue on. Oh, yeah.
Can I do a follow-up?
Yes, we have a follow-up question for that.
Sir, I'm trying to remember, are you the psych major?
Yes.
Yes. My question is, based on your experience doing all these work, and working in the community, how did it impact how you were understanding your psychology classes?
It definitely improved my understanding. It helped me to better visualize some of the things I was learning about in class, whether it was mental health or things like that, or different psychological aspects of it. It definitely helped me better understand, and it really helped me connect more with my classes.
Thank you.
Actually, I have another one.
Okay.
So this is a follow-up to something that Carla said earlier about, I think it was Carla, about having a connection within your learning community, but then having different learning communities have connections with each other. I'm wondering if you could tell, Carla, if you could tell us a little bit how you think that would look like, or what you would want to see with that.
So what I mean by that is the same way you have this kind of retreat where you guys professor meet together and can talk about all your learning community work. I think it would be a good idea if in the at campus other students meet also to talk more about, like, to share their experience in their learning community. And I think we will be able, like, to learn from others, and even though, like, to improve ours. So yeah, that's what I think.
It's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you for that. Any other questions from the conference? We got one question over here.
Yeah, I'm curious. I don't know exactly how to phrase this, but I'm curious, thinking as an administrative type person, which I'm not, but I know that, like, what's the relative value of the learning community that you've had? What I mean by that is, okay, so learning communities, everyone's had positive experiences. Were there other programs that you took in college that had as much impact or more impact? Or were the learning communities the best thing you had? If someone could reflect on something like that.
Anybody want to start?
I would say, for myself at least, the learning community was the most impactful for me. It was the most hands-on and just overall the most, like, impactful compared to all my other classes, because they were just your average lectures where you would just sit in class for an hour and 15 minutes and kind of learn the material. Whereas with my learning community, I was out in public with hands-on experience, talking to people, socializing, understanding my major better, understanding some of the rhetoric and composition material better. So for me, it was better overall.
I would say it was the most impactful for me because it was like in my first semester, and now I'm on my third semester, and it's actually the only class that I still got from it. So I'm still connected with those people. So I think it was the most impactful for me, sincerely.
I would like to piggyback basically off what they were saying as well. It was. I did have good experiences in other classes that I had, but with the learning community, it was definitely more hands-on. I had very good experiences when it came to even just class studies and stuff like that with the other students. In other classes that I had that was outside of the learning community classes, everyone, if you might meet someone and you guys might work on things together, but it wasn't that we had to work together in doing our projects and with studying, and everything was geared toward like our last class project. So working together was what we all had to do, and it was one of the better experiences because it was fun.
So thank you so much for answering those questions. North Florida, do you want to add anything to that discussion? All right, then. I saw the shaking of the head, so we're good. Any other questions from the conference? Any questions from our student panelists? Anything at all? Free range here. Oh, well, we got another question from here. Yes, go. Step on up.
Elsa. Hello, I'm Aurora and I teach in a learning community. Thank you, actually. You know, there's a whole bunch of us, but I want to say thank you. But I love the question, you know, it's like what you got out of it. But I wanted to share with you guys that when I teach in a learning community, I feel like, you know, when you have many children, but you still have a favorite child, and you don't want them to know that you're, you know, you want to be fair with everyone, but because your faculty have to work closely with each other, we get to know you much more than I know my other students, right? So it becomes a favorite child thing, but I hide it. And you put so much energy into it, but then you give back, because when the class is great, it feeds into it. So, you know, Carla, it mattered that you were in our class. So I wanted to let you know. So don't tell the others that you're the favorite child.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming up. And as someone who is the favorite child, I completely understand that. Since we only have 5 minutes left, and if there's no other questions, I think if there are any people here at the conference that want to share anything with the students, same as Aurora did, you know, come on up and what? Oh yes, Terry says that you are our favorite children. I don't have children, so you can't be my favorite. So,
yeah. So I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you for doing this. You know, I know you got a bunch of emails from me, and you're like, what the hell is this? And I know that you talked to some of your faculty and staff mentors here who put you up to this. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate your effort, your energy. I think I speak for everybody here when I say we learned a lot from all of you. You all did a really good job of on here, you know, and so put this on your resume that you did this, okay? Yeah, networking time. So yeah, you all did a really good job, and we're really grateful for your time and your enthusiasm. So yeah,
awesome. Thank you for coming up, George.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah, another person coming up. And I can call him George, by the way, because I've known him for long. So there's no like Professor George or, you know, Advisor George or anything.
Hi, everyone. My name is Karen. Hi, Mia. I see you. I want to specifically shout out Mia because I know that she was very nervous. But thank you for continuously trying to recruit more students, being our OA at advisement. And if there's any pointers that myself, Gina's also here, but at HCCC that we can recruit more students for learning communities, let us know. I'm always going to bother you and ask you questions anyway. So, but thank you everyone else who showed up. Truly, it really does matter. I honestly am new to the role, to advisement, learning communities. So this really helped a lot. So thank you so much.
All right. Getting the ball rolling now.
Hello, Carla. Just wanted to thank you. I think Aurora said it all, but love your idea about future communications and connections with you and other students in other learning communities. That's a great idea. And we'll be in touch about doing that. And thank you, everybody else, too.
Hi, friends. It's Amy. I'm at the University of North Florida, so I'm going to give a shout out to Emma specifically. Thank you for coming on. Emma, I want to give you even more credit than you are giving yourself. The Thrive community students, all are coming in with a variety of different life and social skills, and different sensory needs and all of that. And so Emma is living with the students and helping them manage all of that. And that's not to say that's a more challenging or less challenging role, but there's a unique challenge to being the learning community assistant for the Thrive program. So thanks for the amazing work that you're doing with those students. And thank you all again. I know you're busy, your students are working or both. And so thank you all for giving an hour of your time with us today and preparing. We really appreciate you.
Who's next? Price is Right. Come on down.
Well, I will say, Mia, go check the Journal Square chat.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me. Thank you, Karen, for this shout. Thank you all for having me. I was very nervous. I'm not sure if you can actually tell as I was speaking, but this was a good experience. I enjoyed listening to everybody and what they had to say and how the learning community impacted them as well.
Any student panelists want to add anything before we close the panel?
All right, and thank you, James, for being a very good moderator.
Yes, thank you. And thank you all for coming. I know that, as a student myself, that it can be very hectic and busy trying to find the time. So we appreciate you all zooming in. And, thank you everybody who came to the conference to actually be a part of this student panel. I know it's still early in the morning and some of you want to maybe get coffee or do something else, but it's almost noon. All right. Well, since it is now at the end of the panel, and I know our students probably have some other stuff that they have to get done, either work or classwork or something like that, we're going to end it here. And thank you all for coming and joining us.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you again. I will be posting the recording. I accidentally forgot to click record for the first 5 minutes of it. So it'll kind of start
weird.
Yeah, weird. But I will be posting this on the ACLC website. So yeah, please share with your colleagues who are not here. And you all can share with your friends and families to show what a great job you did. Thank you. All right. Take care.
There we go.
Yay.